Earlier, he was a professor and principal of TDF&CII and the principal of the Institute of Science and Technology. He was also received the Engineer of the Year Award from the Institute of Engineers and has published about 50 papers in national and international journals.
Thank you. Please take 10 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Gandhi, and friends on the dais, and friends in the audience. At the outset, I am extremely grateful to Telangana Development Forum for giving me an opportunity of presenting what is the turmoil that is going on in Telangana state with regard to technical education and how exactly this can be overcome with the government's participation and industry's willing participation. You are all aware about the technical education system in India is given a firm footing by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru because of his I think being a teacher, I have got some sort of a piece. I would like to show them.
But please go fast.
Yeah, I'll go very fast. And he started the chain of IITs, the chain of IITs, and university colleges, etc. But they remained static for a long time. And what made, as a matter of fact, an impact for increase in engineering colleges, I just present to you. Next, please. The next one. The initiative for these private colleges has come because of large demand which is created in the IT sector largely by private initiative. IT was not promoted by government. At that time, there was private initiative, and in the process, large number of people who are trained in the private sector, they have gone abroad and they made a lot of name, though they are not engineers. So this made the government sector also to come forward and do something in this. And enough number of colleges are not there, and the government was not able to actually start engineering colleges. So Karnataka is the first state which has come forward with a private initiative for engineering colleges, medical colleges, etc. And over a period of time, Andhra also has come forward and large number of colleges were started because of the demand created by the world for IT. Because there is no facility created by the government for the increase in demand of students. Next please. Now you will see at the moment about 353 engineering colleges in Telangana area, besides a number of other colleges with regard to pharma, MBA, etc. Next please. Next please. So there is a talk now, enough is enough with regard to engineering colleges. Now we have got to consolidate with regard to the quality. Quantity is satisfied. But I would like to show a couple of points which have come out from a UN report about South Asia human development sector and particular reference to India. Next please. You can see here the number of engineering students, including undergraduates and postgraduates in 7 different countries. You find that there are 15 lakhs 10,000 students in India, whereas we have 41 lakhs 93,000 in China and so on. But let us now go down for 1 million population, what is the number of seats available in engineering colleges? Next please. You see in all the 7 countries which are analyzed here, there is the lowest number of engineering seats in India. It's only 1,290 for 1 million population, the seats available in engineering colleges. Whereas, we have 11,000 seats in Russian Federation, 3,000 seats, about 3 to 4 times in all other countries. So the numbers with regard to our population, we have not crossed at all. But what happened is, because of this sudden expansion of engineering colleges, there is faculty shortage. And that faculty shortage has caused the so-called quality dilution in engineering colleges. Next, please. Next. Various other types of education, etc. Next, please. Next. Next. Now, the faculty which is there in India, 2013, we see for every 100 faculty, how many publications are there by Indian faculty? 8 for 100 population, 100 faculty members in India, whereas 64 in US, and we are almost at the same level in China, Brazil, etc. That means, whatever is the number of faculties available, they are doing reasonably well with regard to the research. But this has to be further improved. Next, please. Next. Now, for all the road development of Telangana, it is necessary that technical education has to be encouraged. Only thing is, the government must come forward now, so that they will be able to force the industry to come together and see what type of skills are required for industry, and those skills are imbibed by the engineering colleges in our state. The talk of industry-institute collaboration is there for the last 50 years. Nothing has happened. Unless there is government initiative, industry is not coming forward. At the same time, they say that you are producing half-baked products. They don't have a right to say if they don't actually collaborate with institutions to see that the quality will improve. Next, please. Now, one thing very important is, because of large demand is there, 95% of engineering seats are provided in Telangana in the self-financing institutions. Only 5% in the government sector. Next. Next, please. There are certain complaints from industry. What are the complaints? That the students are having lack of application skills of theory they learn, the deficiency in project-based and problem-based learning, lack of communication skills, deficiency in team building, and lack of techno-consciousness in our students. This I would like to analyze vis-a-vis what is the situation in other countries. For a minute. Next, please. Now you see what is the type of situation that is existing in, let us say, US. The engineering students, before they join engineering, they know engineering principles. Every student, he works for repair of his car, repair of the entertainment equipment, repair of other appliances, and so many things they know engineering before they join. But India it is not so. A person who is rich, he has got all this, but he has got very cheap labor available for any intervention. And the people who don't have money, they don't have these things. So it became necessary that the education institutions in engineering must also imbibe all these qualities, in addition to what is to be taught in engineering colleges. And for this, there is a great need for justice to come forward. Next, please. Now, see also the qualifications. In the US, nobody can become a teacher in engineering without PhD. But in India, a BTech or MTech is sufficient. That has been there right from the beginning. There are BTech people who are principals of engineering colleges. That situation has to change. And that will change only when there is certain intervention. Next, please. Next. Next. Now, what are the areas in which we want industry to collaborate? Everybody was telling that we have got very, very inferior syllabus. I don't agree to that. The syllabus we have in engineering colleges today is in no way inferior to the syllabus that is existing in the US. What is now required is that particular syllabus which is there in engineering colleges must be taught with practice orientation. Unfortunately, our teachers, they do not have any practical knowledge. They learn through books, they are teaching through books. The situation is not so in US. The teachers are doing consultancy elsewhere, they do a lot of R&D, they teach through their experience. which is not happening in India. And so it is the duty of the government to see that these teachers who are teaching engineering colleges must be trained in the industry. The training of students is impossible because of the numbers involved. But, numbers involved are too many. But only one way is to make the teachers to go through the training, so that they will be able to teach generations of students. If one student is trained, he gets help and he leaves. But if a teacher is trained, it is going to be a very good, long-lasting effect. That is one area where they have got to do. That teaching learning process, I'll just finish with these things only. The teaching learning process will improve only when teacher also knows what is in practice. So that will happen if teacher is trained. Then faculty and staff development. Very new thing. Most of the changes which are happening in the IT sector. Any new things are coming mostly in IT sector. And this IT sector is pushing everybody to introduce new subjects. But these these subjects, how they can be introduced? Because the teacher has not learned these subjects before. Only way is industry must come forward to see that these are introduced and teachers are trained by the industry. See that they will be able to come up. And student development. The most important problem they are saying is not in technology area. They are saying only in communication skills area, the team building area. Student is not able to open his mouth. They are now asking, I want to have a student or graduate who can speak. I will teach him what to speak. That's what they are looking for. And so what is required is to improve the communication skills. And this is not a sin committed by engineering colleges. The sin which they have inherited from primary and secondary education. We have most of the institutions in which Telugu medium is there. So how do they transform themselves for engineering education with the English medium? That has to be there, and I am very happy that government is living up this particular problem, and they are going to have English medium right from 8th standard onwards, I am told. And the collaborative activities. The collaborative activity between industry and institution is essential. And that they don't bother at all. On one side they say, your students are, your people are useless, but they don't do anything to get a better raw material into their system by collaborating with the institutions. This is the essence of the problem. And not that we have too many colleges, we have least number of students per 1 million population. Only thing is there is a need for improvement of quality. That comes only industry also associates in this particular process. Thank you.